Get on here. Doing it live from the garage. Jump on, jump on. Oh, wait. I need to put up the chat. Let's see. Here we go. Top chat. See who's awake right now. But yeah, for all the like losers going like, oh, or not even the losers, like they are losers, like the haters, like, I always shoot in the hotels. How come you never shoot at home? It's like that's what you do when you're successful. You travel. When you buy and sell businesses, you travel, right? You can't just stay home. Nothing happens when you stay home, right? There's nothing at home, especially in California. We've got lockdowns. Got lockdowns. So guess what? I don't need to be part of that. So I escape the lockdown. I just go to the next state. Why? Because I can. Because I could travel. Because my business is virtual. So yeah, it's always funny when people are like, how come you never shoot at the house, mister? It's like, all right, you want me here? I'm here. Right? I'm actually packing. So I'm packing this week and I'm heading off to back to Vegas. I'm going to be there all next month. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to stay in Vegas for a whole month. Yeah. How many of the haters can actually stay in Vegas for more than a couple of days? I stay there all month. So lots of travels and lots of fun. And just got to keep moving in life like I teach you guys. Got to keep moving. Got to keep rocking, keep rolling around. Yo, Matt, every video of yours is great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm not going to stay on too long, guys, because I've got a ton to do. And I just finished shooting a bunch of coaching videos here in my garage. Here in my garage, Ty Lopez. But I just finished shooting a bunch of coaching videos, so I'm a little tired. And I have to get some work done, and there's some other businesses that I'm looking at investing in, and I need to do my due diligence and research on that. And then I'm supposed to go see my girl tonight, somehow by 10 o'clock, which I'm probably going to be late for. But let's see if you guys have any questions. So I'm not going to stay on that long, but did want to say real quick, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you guys. All right, it's still okay. You could say Merry Christmas. Still all right. Merry Christmas. Whenever people say Happy Holidays, I'm always like, Merry Christmas. And they're like, all right, let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? What do we got? Whoa, horsepower in what car? The DeLorean? More than the normal. More than the normal because I upgraded the exhaust. So it's actually got pretty good pickup speed. Because I've had some haters like send me messages whenever I like shoot in front of the DeLorean, like, oh, so slow, so slow. And I'm like, dude, where are you getting this number? They sent me like, oh, 10 seconds, 0 to 60. I'm like, did you just get that off Google? That's a 0 to 60 in an automatic, moron. I'm like, this is a 5-speed. It's much quicker. Not only that, but I upgraded the exhaust, which gives it another 75 horsepower, I believe. 50 is 75. Either way, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Everybody I've taken out in that car is actually pretty shocked at how fast it is. Aruba speed. How old are you, man? Over 21? I'm over 21. Finally. I could get into the clubs. James Bond, one of my royalty subscribers. You guys who are not a royalty subscribers like James Bond over here, gotta get on it. That way you get the little 33 insignia by your name. So every time I see that 33 insignia, I try to answer those first. I am enjoying your videos. Love that you keep it real. That's the only way to do it. Antoine, Daryl, Fenton, Merry Christmas to you, my man. And Happy New Year. Okay. Thank you. It's me. I love that car. Yeah, I know. I love it too. It's awesome. Dude, 10,000 original miles. This car has 10,000 original miles on it. Okay. 10,000 original miles. One owner. And he passed away. And yeah, I was on the hunt for this thing for like 2 years. And finally one came across and I pulled the trigger. It's like a brand new car. I love it. Joseph Bingman. Are you a self-made millionaire? What do you think? Mm-mm. Yeah. I've shared my income on my IG, by the way. But yeah, what do you think? Well, just to give you a hint, this DeLorean was 55K, not including DMV fees. Actually, 60K, right? Bought it cash. So what does that tell you? Yeah, and I told you guys I'm buying a Lambo too for the channel. Probably in the next 6 to 8 months, we'll pull the trigger on that. I just need to find room for that car, but pull the trigger on the Lambo, and that too, gonna buy cash, and I'll document the whole process too, because you're always gonna have people like, no, not real, right? Just like this car, I documented the entire process, buying the car, even going to Chase Bank and drawing up the check, all that, documented it all. Me contacting the dealership, having our conversations recorded, and all that, documented it all. Just because a lot of people are like, no, not real, not real. So I'll do the same with a Lambo. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the Lambo cash. By the way, I'm not. I don't finance. I don't like financing. I don't like debt. I'm like Dave Ramsey with that mindset. I don't like debt. Even when I buy my house, I'm gonna buy it straight cash. No financing. I hate debt. Red Pill Mike, what's up, brother man? What's up? See, Mike has a 33 insignia too. Daniel, do I have kids? Yes, I have kids. Their names are Cash and Gizmo. Antoine. Yeah, haters hate. That's right. Can't do any better. Exactly right. Little Red, that thing is boss. I know. I love this car. I love it. It's so fun. It's insane because I have to. I was shooting in the car for a while actually. You guys saw me, right? I shot a bunch of videos in the car, and every time I try to bring this out and shoot in it, the video gets interrupted and I lose my train of thought. So now I'm shooting in the garage because when I take this thing outside, people come and they want to take photos, they want to ask questions, and I'm like in the middle of coaching videos, and they're like, "Hey man, sorry to bother you. Can I like take some photos, and where'd you get the car, and da da da, and what's the history?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude." So it kind of messes with my train of thought. So now I'm doing these coaching videos with the car in the garage just because nobody bothers me. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of the Lambo, this will get way more attention than the Lambo. I mean, this car just gets way more attention than anything. It's yeah, it's pretty wild. You still drive that vet much? Yeah, I'm gonna upload some footage of the vet probably to my Instagram. So I'll probably upload. Yeah, I'll probably shoot something with the vet next week. So probably do that. I'll probably do that next week. But yeah, I haven't been driving the vet that much. It's just kind of been sitting. But even this car, I mean, I don't really drive it that much. I'd love more of my garage to be this clean. Sweet. Sheesh. The stock exhaust is that restrictive? Yeah, look up the stock DeLorean exhaust. I mean, it was what it was. So I just got a better exhaust. Plus, it sounds better. So yeah, the new James Bond. Yeah, good to see me live. Yeah, I don't do too many of these lives. I just decided to do it tonight just because I don't know when I can do it again. I mean, I'll be in Vegas for a month, but I'm really going to be there, kind of meeting with clients for a couple other businesses that I'm looking at, and then some of my team members who work for me are going to fly in, and I kind of owe them sort of like a mini vacation. So I'm going to kind of play host to them because they do a lot of work for me, and so yeah, that's another thing is throughout this whole like COVID thing, every single person that worked for me or that works for me, I had to send out a mass email, and I basically guaranteed all of their jobs. I told them through this thing, don't worry, I guarantee your job, even if it has to come out of my savings account. I guarantee you're not going to lose your job. So, okay, let's see. Do, do, do. Uh, Matt, this is Shock. Keep telling the truth. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for sharing all my videos on Facebook. I really appreciate that. I'm not really on Facebook as much, but whenever I log in, I like every single one that you share. So I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna keep plugging so long as you do. Uh, okay. How would I characterize my political views? I like small government, and I just like the government out of our lives completely. Obviously, I'm a capitalist, so I'm all for capitalism, but small government is the biggest thing right now too. Is I don't like all this government intervention. I mean, that's why we have these lockdowns, and that's why we have all these insane regulations and can't even throw a frisbee on the beach anymore. Can't even walk your dog on the beach. Can't even fly a kite on the beach. You can't, I mean, it's like you can't throw a bonfire anymore. It's like all these regulations. Like we're so overregulated and overtaxed. It's insane. So less government is the key. Yeah. So that's my political leanings is small government, less entitlement programs, and leave people alone. Leave people free to do whatever they want. Daniel, I moved to Vegas. California's nuts. Yeah, it's nuts, man. A lot of people are like, when are you going to leave California? I'm like, yeah, my whole family's here. And I love I mean, outside of the politics, I love California. I love the beaches. You can't beat the weather. My family's here. My friends are here. I grew up here. So, I mean, I was born and raised here. So, yeah, it's really hard to leave Cali. But I don't know. I mean, I'm in a position where I could buy a whole other house. I could buy a really big house if I wanted to. So I don't think I want to do that in Cali. I might look at Vegas. I might look in Summerlin. So you guys who live in Summerlin or know about Summerlin, let me know what you think. Uh, let's see what else we got here. I know everyone's talking about the car. I know, right? This is why I can't take it out like and shoot these coaching videos. I like driving it though. I do like driving it, but even then when I drive it, it gets a little dangerous because you know what people do? They ride in the blind spots. Okay, so they ride in the blind spots of my rear with their cell phones, like shooting while they're driving, and I'm like looking in the rear view, and I'm like, dude, that is not safe. Did you upgrade the engine DeLorean? Absolutely not. It's all original. So it's a 10,000 mile car, 10,000 original miles, all documented. Um, I didn't change anything but the exhaust, and even that I was kind of iffy on. This thing had the original tires on it from 1981 when I bought this car. We had to change the tires because it wasn't safe to drive on. So yeah, so but it's all original. I'm not going to touch it. It's an investment, and if I were to change the engine on this, it would completely destroy the value. So yeah, I don't do that. All right. Victor Suarez says Trump lost. Okay, loser. Um, yeah, but there's a lot of you know, I mean the fact that they say Biden got more votes than Obama did, and then he got more votes than there were voters in many areas. It's pretty suspicious. So the way, I mean, I always said the only way he would lose is if he got cheated, and I don't know. I mean, also there was more evidence pointing to the fact that there was fraud than that it was legit. So I don't know if I wouldn't agree with that statement completely. But also, why would you be against Trump? He's for small government. And if you're for the other side, I've talked about this before. If you're for the other side, the reason why I don't support the left, I don't support the Democrat side. And I grew up in San Francisco. My parents were lifelong Democrats. And the reason why I never supported that is because that's the party of cancel culture. That is a party of wokeness. That's a party of SJW values. That's a party of feminism. That's a party of destroying masculinity, destroying families. That's a party of propagating single motherhood. That's a party of evil, as far as I'm concerned. That's a party of big government, more regulations, lockdowns. Yeah, do you like it? Do you like shelter in place? Because that's what you get when you vote that way. I mean, that's why that's why you're being overregulated now and overtaxed. So if you like that kind of stuff, then yeah, I don't personally, but I don't. But yeah, Team King, yeah. You plan to settle down and marry? I don't know. Maybe one day. I just did a coaching video on that too about getting married because a lot of people are like, oh, you should get married so you can be happy, and it's like, dude, if you think that marriage is you're gonna end your unhappiness by getting married, you're not. I mean, if you're not happy before you get married, you're not gonna have be happy when you get married, right? That is stuff that you need to fix before you get married. You need to feel like you're a complete person and you can completely be alone, and you don't need to value leech off of your partner in order to feel happiness. That needs to be done before you find your partner. And this is why so many marriages end in divorce, is because you have two people getting together who are codependent, who cannot be alone, who cannot function as independent units, and then they come together and then it's toxic. So the good thing now is like I'm in a position where I mean I have a number of girls that I've met through pickup and game that are hitting me up, and I mean I like over half of them. If I sent out a message, not to be sound arrogant, if I was like, hey, maybe we should think about getting married, my phone would blow up. It's insane. It's so easy to get married. This is what I've said a number of times. For a guy, it's very easy to get married. Most girls are looking to get married, believe it or not. And I think it was some comedian, Martin. Martin used to say, "Oh, as men, we don't get married. We surrender. We surrender, right? We surrender." It's so easy to get married. So I have nothing against marriage. I've had a lot of students who've entered successful marriages. They have families now. They have kids now. I don't have anything against it. It's just not something I want to do right now because I'm too busy grinding. I'm too busy traveling. I'm too busy building my businesses. I'm too busy enjoying life. I mean, even the girls that I'm dating right now is a lot of responsibility. And whenever you enter a relationship, especially a serious relationship, that's a lot of responsibility. I mean, you have to go on dates, you have to go on vacations together, you have to spend the holidays together. And I don't want to take on that responsibility right now. I feel like I want to take advantage of my youth and energy and just really grind and build something big and work on my business and do what I want to do, versus having to like be somewhere on Christmas or New Year's Eve or anything like that. I mean, even on Christmas, I spent it with my girl, right? You guys who follow me on Instagram at Matt Cross Official, I post my Instagram stories. So I was at my girl's place and we were watching Die Hard 1988 with Bruce Willis. We watched Die Hard like literally every Christmas. And so we are sitting there watching Die Hard, and even through the movie, I was kind of like antsy because I didn't want to just sit there and watch the movie with her. I wanted to work. I'm just a productive person. I don't like sitting still. And this is why I'm barely at home. A lot of people are like, why aren't you ever at home? Why are you always in these hotels? And because I travel a lot. I have businesses. I have things to get done, right? And it doesn't all take place in California. It doesn't all take place in Los Angeles. I got to get my ass out of the state. I have to make things happen. I have to do deals in person. I don't like doing like big deals over the phone. I like meeting the people and connecting with them and doing things in person. That way I get a feel for who I'm dealing with, especially if I'm going to buy their business, which where they're asking like, $500,000. I want to meet the person, right? So that's why I'm always traveling. That's why I'm barely here. But people who don't grind, people who just hate, they don't get it, right? Because they're sitting at home doing nothing with their lives and just like hanging out, throwing shade in the YouTube comments. So they don't understand because for them, their entire life is staying at home and watching Pornhub and not interacting with people and not building a legacy. Debbie, you look like rock star, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, and do you pick up women who consider themselves lesbian? No, not anymore. Yeah, I'm over that. Those chicks are crazy. They're just too confused. A lot of them aren't even lesbian. They're just they're just following the social narrative of, oh, this is cool. I just tell girls I'm lesbian. That way everybody will like me because it's cool. No, it's not cool. It's stupid. Hey, Poland, what's going on? Lezek. I appreciate that. Love that. Red Pill Mike, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Hey, brother, have you ever owned a 77 black Trans Am? If you did, what was your experience? That is my dream car and seriously thinking of purchasing it. Yeah, the Smokey and Bandit car. You should get it. That car right now is really, those cars are really underpriced right now. Okay. Um, yeah, the especially the those Trans Ams, those are like the last of the muscle cars. That was like the last of the era. So I was actually before I got the DeLorean, I was in the market for a 77 Trans Am also. I was looking for one with T-tops and a four-speed, and one that had low miles or one owner, and they're just so hard to come by. But this came up first, so I jumped on it. But I'll probably get one in the future. But I think I'm going to get a red one. I just like the way the red ones look. But the black 77 TA, I mean, obviously that's going to be worth more. It's a good investment. I mean, if you buy it right, you're never going to lose money on it. It's just going to go up in value. And right now, I mean, they're pretty decently priced. I mean, you could probably pick up a solid one for, you know, not a whole lot of money. But yeah, I would definitely look into that. I was looking at a 71 Hemi Cuda too. That will probably be something I purchase in the future. Yeah, a lot of you guys, if you don't realize, I'm like a total car enthusiast. I'm a gearhead. I love cars. I especially love like older cars, classic cars, rare cars. I invest in these cars. I mean, so yeah, I'm a connoisseur and a gearhead. So it always makes me laugh too, because like on my other channel, I posted a video of me going Lamborghini shopping, and then I got a lot of haters for that. Like, so insecure buying that Lamborghini. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm a car enthusiast, you know? It's like I love cars, and I mean, the Lamborghini was always something that was high on my bucket list. So yeah, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna showcase the whole thing on my channel. I might even do it live, right, where I buy the car, just so you could see it for real. Um, but yeah, I'm a huge car buff and used to sell luxury cars in college. That's how I got myself through college. So I know these cars well, and I know how to buy them right and what to buy. And even this car, I had some haters who were like, "Oh, you overpaid for that DeLorean. Totally overpaid." It's like, dude, that's the reason you're broke and I'm successful. Like this car already, I've already had at least almost a half a dozen offers. I've only had it less than a year. I've had a half a dozen offers offering me more money than I paid. If I wanted to, I could turn this and make 10 grand, like a 10 grand profit off of this. Somebody offered me a little over 65K to buy this car, and I said no. Uh, okay. And these things are shooting up in value, by the way. The last 3 years alone, these have gone up 47% in value. Where else are you going to find an investment like that? This has gone up faster than Tesla stock, right? So yeah, Tesla stock's been exploding, but this was a better investment. Plus, I get to see it, drive it, touch it. It's real. Yeah, exactly. Uh, uh, all right, let's see. Looks like the car from Back to the Future. Well, it is. That was a DeLorean. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate that. I tried to do my best job. You are the best coach. I appreciate that. John Smith, practicing guitar. Excuse me, guys. We're so rude, right? Uh, okay, let's see if I got anything else here. Yup, with the 9.99 super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Rolando J. Rios, what's your favorite clone? You guys who are in my program, how do I feel about clone? Uh, John Smith, Matt, will you do a call-in show? I don't know. Um, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really fit my business model. It's just from a time management perspective. I mean, it sounds fun, like something I might want to do if I have complete free time, but I don't. There's just more effective things I could be doing with my time than doing a call-in show. I mean, like say I do an hour call-in show. In that hour I do that call-in show, I could bang out like half a dozen videos that I could upload to my channel that will quadruple the amount of ad revenue versus doing a call-in show. So a lot of it boils back down to where is my time most effective. Matt, Malabar. Matt, how would you compare your game to your game 10 years ago? How has it changed your attitude toward the purple pill? My game 10 years ago wasn't that much different. Now it's just my game now is actually a lot faster. I'm a lot more, I'm a lot quicker with responses, negs. If the girl tries to DLV me, stands for demonstration of lower value. When the girl tries to shit test me, I'm a lot faster than ever. I just have these auto responses that work brilliantly. So yeah, if anything, my game's faster. I'm quicker. I bounce venues faster. I could pull girls faster. I could get girls to leave with me faster. So yeah, I'm definitely faster and way more energized than 10 years ago. I don't know why. I mean, probably, I mean, my diet's a little better, but yeah, I just seem like I have more energy at this age. I just feel like I just have to, I just can't stop. But yeah, my game's just gotten faster, but I'm using a lot of the same techniques and tactics that I've always used. Um, how has it changed my attitude towards the purple pill? I don't think about all that stuff. I just do what I do. I live my life and I have fun doing it. And I don't get involved in all that with like the purple pill or whatever the latest pill is. I mean, yeah, I just try to have fun. Let's see. Oh, I think I got some super chats here. Oh shit. Hold on. Super chat. There we go. K Lim, if I ever come to California, can you show me around the best places there to do game? I think I list the best places to do game in my programs, but it's always changing in the big cities, like even LA, like a lot of, or even San Francisco, where I'm from. A lot of my favorite places to game, like a lot of these places close down and then a new place opens up. So it's just a matter of, when and where. But some of my favorite places in California, if you're just talking about LA, you could usually find me at the Bungalow, Third Street Promenade, Day Game, the Victorian, Santa Monica. I also like the game in Hollywood a lot. Tenants of the Trees. I used to go there with my buddy Jared. Saddle Ranch. I just love Saddle Ranch because not only do they have food, but they have hot bartenders and usually pretty good looking women who come in there. And then there's an electric bull in the middle, so I usually ride the electric bull to get myself going before the night starts. So that's pretty fun. Sometimes I have students jump on the electric bull just to kind of shake them up, bring them outside of their comfort zone. Red Pill Mike, if you're shopping for a Ferrari, people would say it's because you're too broke to afford a Lambo. Yeah, it's true. You can't win. You can't win, man. I mean, even if I buy a Lambo, people are always gonna have something to say about it. It's just the way it is. It's like someone's always gonna have something to say about it. I mean, people have like sent me like personalized DMs about my DeLorean. It's like, how could you really hate on this car? Like, stupid DeLorean. It's like, what could you do, right? You can't win. But yeah, yeah, true. I mean, even if you buy a Lambo, if you don't buy the 2021 like Cyan $4 million Lambo, it's because you're broke. Can't afford the $4 million Lambo. You had to buy the regular Lambo. You can afford that Lambo, right? You had to settle for that Aventador or whatever. Yeah, I'm probably not even going to drop that much money on the Lambo. I don't know which model I'm going to get. It's just for me, it's not that important. It's just it's just a driving experience. All the Lamborghinis they make are pretty. I mean, they're pretty phenomenal cars. No matter what model you buy, it's just a matter of how much you want to spend. Um, but uh, but yeah, I rather put, I rather not drop a whole lot of money on like these brand new Lambos or anything like that. I rather take most of that money and just continue to buy other businesses. That's really what I'm focused on. That's what my passion is. There's a better ROI. And then every once in a while, I'll buy a classic car like this, like the DeLorean or the my '65 Corvette. That's another car that's I'm getting offers for that are well above what I paid, like over five figures above what I paid. So yeah. Coach, Mr. Folder with the $5 super chat. I dated a girl for 5 months while watching your videos, and she broke up with me 2 months ago for neglecting her. I'll tell you what happened. Calibration. What have I taught you guys? The game is all about calibration, right? Got to have calibration. Push, pull, push, pull. But but a girl, I don't really believe her in that sense. She was like, she broke up with you for just neglecting her. It was probably something more than that. So that sounds like an excuse she's given you, but it's probably something more than that. Red-blooded Scotsman, what advice would you give to your 21-year-old self? I turned 21 this year. I have no family whatsoever. I'm scared, but I want to succeed. What I would tell myself is I think the best advice I would give myself is to cut off certain people in my life. I was hanging around with a lot of bad influences back then. I was getting in a lot of trouble back then. And I mean, I got in so much trouble back then that SFPD, the cops, used to park outside my parents' house just waiting for me to leave. And they're like, hey, they'd like totally stress out my parents. They'd be like, did your son leave the house today? It was insane. But I would tell myself to find a new social circle because it always comes down to your social circle. And I've noticed that once I changed my social circle, that's when life just completely shifted. It just changed completely. So I would say for you being 21, especially being 21, you should really find what your grind is, what your path and purpose is. That is the thing that I would work on most. And you know what? It might change, right? It might change. Like for mine at 21 was football. I thought I was going to go pro. I wanted to play in the NFL, and I tried to play as long as I could until my body just couldn't take it anymore. A lot of players were injecting steroids into their bodies back then, and I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to suffer the long-term effects. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on entrepreneurship and just try to build a business. So that I just completely shifted. But either way, I was still kind of like doing what I wanted to do. That was my path and purpose. So at 21, you want to find out what your path and purpose is. So the earlier you get on it, the better. Okay. The earlier you get on it, the better. So yeah. If you guys are like curious, I was actually 35 pounds heavier when I played ball. So I'm actually 35 pounds thinner than I once was. All right. Yeet with a $1.99 super chat. Got my own place. No marriage. Cohabitation for me. Good. You gotta do what works for you. Yup, with a 4.99 super chat. Left job 6 months ago to start a biz. Not profitable yet. Scared of going down to zero in the bank. Former six-figure job. Have family. What did you do? Go back. Oh, yeah, yeah, because I've been in that position when I started building my business and even businesses before. I went to zero. I went to negative zero in the past. Um, yeah, I mean, I literally lost everything that I made in my at my corporate job trying to make one of my businesses work. So it just depends how much belief you have in yourself, how much belief you have in your idea. For me, I wasn't going to give up until I made something work. That's just my nature. I was like, I didn't want to go back to a corporate job. I didn't see myself working there for the rest of my life, even though it was a good job. I mean, yeah, I felt blessed to be there. I felt blessed to have, to be earning what I was earning at that job. And I mean, and it was pretty it was a pretty big company. It was a Fortune 100. It was actually AT&T. I don't mention that, but it was AT&T. So I worked for AT&T first. I worked in their I was an advertising consultant. So I worked in their head, like their corporate offices. And then after that, I went to work for Verizon, which was another Fortune 100, and I got that job because I worked at AT&T. So now I had street cred, so they hired me. And then I realized I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. I mean, I felt like I was making them a ton of money, and I was, even though I was getting paid good money, I felt like, wait a minute, for what I'm doing, I could do this on my own. So I started my own advertising consulting business. That was the first thing I started, but it was very, very difficult to do that. So it ended up coming back to me just digging deep inside myself and discovering trying to realize what my natural talents were and trying to monetize that. And really, something I was always good at was cold approach. So that's what I dove into. And it could be different from you, but I mean, if you believe in yourself and you want to break yourself free, then do that. All right. The book, I mentioned this book on my Alpha Male Secrets channel, but the book that really, really kind of changed my way of thinking was The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. So you might want to read that book, even though he's not working 4 hours. I'm definitely not working no 4 hours. I'm working like 80 hours a week, but it will just kind of shift your mindset to where it needs to be. Okay. Jeff H with a 4.99 super chat. Hi Matt, I'm newly red pilled and working to get rid of old programming. C19 had me trying online dating. Does your coaching help with online? Yeah, it does help with online, although I don't recommend doing online game. I am a straight old school cold approach pickup artist, and even right now with the masks and everything, I'm still cold approaching girls with the mask on. I usually get them to take the mask off first. I kind of say something funny, or I'll kind of joke with them to pull down their mask, because a lot of times these girls, like, you know, they'll have like really pretty eyes, and you're like, oh, this girl's hot, and then she'll pull down her mask, and you're like, oh, right. That happened to me a couple of times already. It's super disappointing. Super disappointing. Last time was in when I was in Reno recently, and I was talking to this girl who was like, she was like a cocktail waitress, and she looked super hot with her mask on, and I was talking to her the whole time, and then she was like, I can't pull down the mask for you, I can't do it, my boss will, I'll get in trouble, I'll get written up. And then finally I got her in a corner, and I'm like, after talking to this girl for like an hour, I'm like, all right, just pull it down. She pulls it down, and I looked, and I was like, I just spent an hour talking to this girl. She just wasn't. She was okay, but I was definitely not attracted to her after she pulled the mask down. And I was like, I just wasted an hour of my life talking to this girl. Never again. Now I'm like, take that mask down. But yeah, it does help with online game. Obviously, it helps. I mean, just because it's just game. I mean, that's all it is. But you're learning how to interact with girls from a high value frame where you are the buyer and they are the seller, right? If you look at most guys online and offline, they're constantly selling themselves to the girl. Where I teach you not to do that, because when you sell yourself to the girl, all you're communicating to her is that you don't possess value, right? And the number one thing that women look for in a guy is value. Okay, Jack Williams, $10 super chat. On one of your vids, you say that girls like bad guys with tattoos, but on the other vid, you say that guys with a path and purpose, guys that got on their path. Well, yeah, okay, so yeah, I know what you're talking about. So Jack is saying, okay, in one of my vids, I said girls like bad guys, tattoos, losers, basically, but on the other side, um, girls also like guys who are on their path and purpose, who have their stuff together. Can you please explain? Yeah, absolutely. So when a woman is damaged, when she has daddy issues, when she is, um, yeah, like the DG, those are the type of guys she's going to go for. Okay. Women who are quote unquote good, the few that are out there, they are going to prefer a guy who actually has his crap together, because she is looking to have a family. She's looking for something more stable, and she's not looking for, that type of guy. Even though she's is likely attracted to that type of guy, she's not going to go in that direction. Okay. I might have to plug my battery in here, guys. I think it's like dying out here.